Và sau đây ban tổ chức xin trân trọng kính mời tiến sĩ Đỗ Ngọc Minh, đại diện Đại học Quốc gia, lên sân khấu. We would like to invite Mr. Eric Alexander, Native Capital, Access Singapore, on the stage, please. Với phiên tọa đàm thứ hai với chủ đề Exploring the Synergy of Blockchain and Digital Transformation in Southeast Asia. Và trân trọng kính mời bà Lynn Hoang của Binance. And also Mr. Marcus Aurelius.
So welcome to the panel number 2, and I just want to say that we will time boxing the panel, so 30 minutes. So if you guys talk too long, I will cut it off. Sorry about that. So our panel will be exploring the synergy of blockchain and digital transformation, revolutionizing industry and beyond. So for the first question, I think it's better that you guys give a quick introduction about yourself. Maybe I can start with Dr. Minh.
Hello everyone, my name is Minh Do from the Information Technology Institute, Vietnam National University, Hanoi. And for myself, I belong to two things. The first thing is open educational resources. I have been working with the OER, OCW movement in about 20 years now, along with MIT, along with Coursera, and with Rice University in Houston. And the second thing about me is the blockchain, especially blockchain adoption. And I am the founder of a network named University Blockchain Alliance, including some universities, mostly in the north of Vietnam. We are helping together to help faculty members and students to have more knowledge and have more activities on researching, improving knowledge and experiences on working with blockchain and Web3.
Hello, I'm Eric Alexander. I'm a founding member of Native Capital. Native Capital is a creator accelerator for Web3 startup. We started 2 years ago, but I've been involved in blockchain since 2014. I'm also a member of Access Singapore, which is the oldest cryptocurrency association in Asia Pacific. Access was formed in 2014, and we work actively with MAS to regulate cryptocurrency in the Southeast Asia region.
Hi everyone, I'm Marcus. My background is in data science and data engineering. I've been working with technology for the last 10 years. Really trying to bring increased efficiency and solve some of the problems that have existed in the past. I got involved with blockchain a few years ago. In particular, I'm a contributor at KlimaDAO, where we're using blockchain technology to scale climate action. I'm convinced that climate change is one of the most pressing issues facing our generation, and I think that blockchain technology can play a really important role in solving some of the problems that exist in the current climate action space, in particular around transparency, access, and liquidity.
Thank you. So I just say that we will have 2 general questions, and then we get the specific question. And I will give 1 question to the audience, and I will give you guys some swap from my name. So the first question I would like to ask Eric. So in your respective sector, what strategies are being implemented to address the digital divide and ensure?
Per se, Philippines will be really gaming as well as Vietnam. We look at more tech market for Eastern Europe and US. So we look at each market for their quick adoption and which project can adapt pretty well to this market.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes, and from my point of view, from education sector, I see that open educational resources is the best tool to help every people to access to the right knowledge about blockchain and Web3. For example, if your child want to learn about Bitcoin, so your child can go to Khan Academy. They provide a course on Bitcoin theory about blockchain maybe 10 years ago. And if you are a student, you can go to MIT OpenCourseware. There is a very well-known course provided by Gary Gensler in 1918. Yes, and now he became chairman of SEC, right, in the US. And if you are a working people, you can go to Coursera. So a lot of free courses from the best university in the world to provide for you for free. So OER and MOOC, massive open online courses are the best tool for everyone to access the knowledge about blockchain and Web3.
Yeah, I definitely agree that free online education is a really powerful tool to level the playing field. I also think that some of the uniquely well-suited use cases of blockchain technology are very relevant in countries like Vietnam in Southeast Asia in a way that they're not necessarily as relevant where I'm from in the United States. So things like remittances, sending money from abroad back home, much more affordable to do using stable coins or digital dollars on a blockchain than say through a bank or a traditional wire transfer service like Western Union. There's also the opportunity to hedge or mitigate your exposure to local currency issues by holding some of your wealth in either digital dollars like stablecoins or in a volatile asset like Bitcoin that isn't as affected by inflation and devaluation of fiat currencies. In terms of the market that I work in, particularly in the carbon markets, there are already quite a few carbon projects that have been developed in Vietnam. But because of the current state of the carbon markets, it's very difficult for smaller projects to get off the ground. You really need to have a large-scale project in order to attract enough capital to get over the overhead costs, the initial cost of setting up a carbon project and getting funding for positive climate action here in Vietnam. So there are some projects doing improved cook stove distribution, where they basically distribute more efficient cook stoves to people in rural settings so that they have reduced health impact from burning fuel in their homes, and also are able to cook faster, which gives the women and girls primarily responsible for cooking more time to pursue education and work opportunities. But those projects are pretty large, and the overhead costs are often on the order of $70,000 to $100,000 US. So one of the opportunities that blockchain affords is to allow smaller scale projects to start up that maybe have on the order of hundreds of dollars or a couple $1,000 startup cost, and thereby bring these both planet positive actions and things that benefit the local people to more people in smaller communities that aren't accessible under the current very old school carbon market system.
I'd like to add something about what you just said, because yes, everybody speak about education. I think since my journey in the blockchain since 2014, mass adoption has been a big subject from everyone, right? And everyone wanted to say, my grandmother, my parents need to adopt it. I think it's more for the kid and grandkid. It's not really for parents anymore. But regardless of that, that's one of the beliefs at Native Capital. We support projects we believe can transform the digital landscape and the adoption. And one project particularly we invested a year and a half ago is called Kirk. It's actually an education blockchain platform. And what this guy have done that's interesting is a Web2 studio. We used to sell modules to over 2,000 schools across the globe to teach kids about IT, programming like Python, Java, HTML. And for the past 2 years now, they've been developing like module on Bitcoin, BSC, on Ethereum, blockchain, different protocol, sending it to over 200 schools. And I believe mass education will happen through education, where actually university and school put on their curriculum.
Thank you. So I had a question to Dr. Min. How do you bridge the gap between academic knowledge and real-world application in the blockchain and Web3 field?
From my point of view, blockchain is a foundation technology. If you mention just about blockchain, it's like a lot of technology, new technology, and it's a foundation. And we mentioned about Web3. It means a new layer of application. Web3 is a web that people is using every day. So we are using Web 1 and Web 2, and we need more. And that's the reason why we need more privacy. We need more something that Web 2 cannot provide. So we need something called Web 3. And for Web 3, blockchain brings potential to have that. So from my university and my alliance, we provide training courses for not only the knowledge about blockchain application, and we also work with another field. For example, at first our alliance just have a university with the faculty about information technology and electrical engineering, and then we expand to the finance and economics faculty. So they will be the field that blockchain can apply to, and then the law university. And recently we recognize that one of the fields that can work with blockchain a lot, that is communication, PR and communication. So we work with this field to bring some real life question, real life problems to solve together. So that and also we work with some foundation, public blockchain foundation, and we have some international cooperation. And with all of that, we hope that we will bring something new to the blockchain evolution.
And now question to Marcus. So how will the blockchain technology contribute to addressing the environmental and sustainability concern? And what role can blockchain project like LimaDAO play in this field?
Yeah, so first it might be helpful to give a little bit of context of the state of climate action and how things are structured today. So the market that LimaDAO is operating in is called the voluntary carbon market. This was created back in the 1990s under the Kyoto Protocol, and honestly things have not changed a whole lot in the last 30 years. There's a big opportunity to take some pretty old school, antiquated systems that function using email, PDF documents, wire transfers, and bring them into the 21st century. So the current system relies a lot on financial intermediaries who basically sit in between a project developer, i.e. someone who is going to go and take the positive action. They're going to hire people to plant trees, they're going to distribute cook stoves to people in rural areas so that they have less pollution when they're cooking, or maybe installing solar panels or a hydroelectric dam. Those project developers need to get funding to carry out that important action. And the way they get funded today is through a financial intermediary, typically a broker or a trading house. And those brokers typically take very high margins for the service of providing that upfront capital. On the other hand, you have corporations and individuals, the demand side of this market, that want to support climate action for one reason or another. Maybe they have a commitment in their corporate sustainability strategy to supporting positive climate action. Maybe they're an individual who just wants to feel good and feel like they're contributing to solving the climate crisis. For whatever reason, they want to put money toward these projects. And the brokers provide an intermediation service that basically gets the money from the people who want to support climate action to the projects on the ground doing the work. And using blockchain technology and DeFi, we can dramatically reduce the cost and the time associated with getting that funding to the projects on the ground, basically by directly connecting the buyers with the sellers. So at LimaDAO, we're building market infrastructure to make that really quick and easy, so that instead of calling a broker, going back and forth, maybe shopping around in a process that used to take about 6 weeks, now you can go online onto our website, carbonmark.com, see a range of 180 different projects, including a few projects from Vietnam. Pick which one you want to support, and in as little as a few minutes, using your credit card or your crypto wallet, check out and get your confirmation of support for that project. And rather than getting a PDF document in your email inbox, which can easily be manipulated, you might have questions about whether someone else is using the same PDF document that you were emailed. Instead, you get a verifiable receipt that has a unique link that you can then share on your social media, you can post it on your corporate website, however you want to share the contribution that you made to that positive climate action that you supported.
Thank you, Michael. And this is a question for you, Eric. So in the area of decentralized finance and non-fungible tokens, what's unique opportunities in Switzerland exist in Southeast Asia compared to other global markets?
Well, I think first is the user adoption. I think Southeast Asia and Asia Pacific, as I say, is the largest. But first we look at innovation. So let's go back to what blockchain is and Bitcoin is, right? Let's go back to the beginning, because I think there's a huge upset in the space. We all know, I mean, we've seen for the past 3 years, a lot of layer 1 blockchain protocol being developed, right, in many countries. I think Vietnam and Tomo Chain, who actually doesn't move forward because there's nobody building on it. You have Elastos from Argentina, and we call it EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, and we've seen many of them, and there's still more coming up. It seems the developer or the tech people like to duplicate the Ethereum code and bring new innovation to it, and investor comes in because of that infrastructure. So, showing this, we see many EVM all over the world who are totally, they have a bit of a space, I mean, they have a moment on the sun, huge investment, one wave of revenue, and I feel because a lot of people in the space, let's face it, look at investment in blockchain as alternative revenue, as is the promise of a gold rush. You put $100, you make $10,000, and I think in every emerging market, that's the promise people believe, and that's what they invest, rather they know what they're doing on a different issue. But what we've been seeing happening this year in March, there's a new development on Bitcoin, who's been the Taproot development. So if we follow the history of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was created, you could only build 1 megabyte of data on the top of Satoshi. In 2017, there were a new development called the segregated witness, which is the SegWit development. We enable an extra 3 megabytes on Bitcoin, making it 4. But this March, there's the Taproot development. We enable recursive inscription on Satoshi using the daisy chain, meaning unlimited data on Bitcoin, and all the developers are building on that. So what we like, let's talk about true innovation, right? I've been to 8 conferences the past 3 months, and we spoke about the BRC20 standard, which is right off the back of the Ordino, which is NFT on Bitcoin, right? And what I've seen is a polarized community where, oh, it's something new, it's not going to work. Bitcoin is not done for that. Then we went to see some Bitcoin conference with the old developer. Say, no, Bitcoin is good, you can build on it. So I think there's few challenges here. People are willing to take the risk for new adoption. And what we see with assets built on Bitcoin, it's a huge opportunity for institutional, even banks, to come on board and form, because Bitcoin has gained the trust. That's a solid protocol, never got hacked, never got rolled back. So you can get your Bitcoin stolen, but nobody has hacked Bitcoin as of today. So we have an ironclad security proof of work. So talking about the opportunity, I would say everyone, look what's happening in the space. Tell the developer, tell the education hub, tell the hackathon, build on Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin is there for a long time, and I think the next wave will be building on Bitcoin. That's the opportunity to look at.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. I think you are Bitcoin maximalist.
No, really, no. I first invest in Ethereum, but I think the wave of development on Ethereum was good because it created the mass adoption. Solidity contract was great to find solution, but let's face it, Ethereum protocol was never fully finished. I was there at the beginning. I bought into the pre-sale at 25 cents. I followed the history. I was there at the beginning, and every single EVM could be hacked. Solidity is easy to hack. Bitcoin also. I look at, for me, data privacy and security, right? I don't want to lose my coin. And so far, Bitcoin has proven itself resilient towards the system.
I just want to share as well, next year we have Bitcoin halving, and yesterday is the anniversary for Bitcoin white paper. Anyway, I would like to take a question from the audience, one question, and I will read the swap. I have some swap from my name. Anyone want to ask question? We had a translator as well. Yeah, okay.
Yes, thank you very much for all audience and many the good actor in here, many the technical and working in deeply and intensively in blockchain technology. So I'm Quinn from the NIC Hoa Lac. Actually, I also working in blockchain technology in like the community from the 2017. And we have seen many changing in blockchain till now. The market is going up and dropping down, and we are seeing many the ways and the people are broken and also bankrupt and go to when they go into the market. So the question for all of the yes Melodies here about the in Southeast Asia, we see that Vietnam e-market right now is the top of the leading in Southeast Asia markets for blockchain and cryptocurrency. But actually, we're still seeing only the top of the way of the blockchain technology. We see many the wood company like ETHVietnam or other Tomo, Trend, many other. We also join the market, but still not so many. So how can we put the blockchain technology going to supporting for the economy much faster? Because we are seeing the report that one of the trend is the expected to 30 to 2040 that maybe blockchain will create about 40 million jobs and support to the 10 to 20% of economic running under blockchain technology. So how Vietnamese markets and Southeast Asia can apply this chance to put the market much like applying into the developing the technology. Yeah, thank you.
For your question, so quickly you want to ask how to apply blockchain in Southeast Asia and Vietnam to make the economy going faster.
Okay, I have just only one point. That is, I want to the relation with AI technology. We teach AI technology maybe 20, 30 years ago, but recently with the development of ChatGPT, so people can know about the application of AI and like AI adoption in the real life, and from that time on, AI will become the hot keyword. And for the blockchain, yesterday was 15 years of blockchain and of Bitcoin white paper. And yes, it also the blockchain, and I believe that in very soon we see that many chains appear up and down, but increasingly blockchain application, Web3 adoption is becoming get into the real life slowly. And I believe that in the next 1, 2, or 3 years, blockchain adoption in not only in South Asia but also the whole world will better.
Well, I think we can talk about initiative happening in each country. Let's say for Vietnam, back in March 2022, your Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Van der Pam, actually signed a decision to do a digital transformation of asset for Vietnam anyway by 2028. So I think you guys are on the way already. I think the Vietnam regulator as well has set up some R&D group in order to facilitate the regulation of blockchain technology. So I think it will come from regulation first as well as education. But Singapore is really advanced on that. Malaysia is going there. Indonesia looking at it. So I think Southeast Asia is taking a leading part. But to answer your question, it has to come from government. But I think the main issue I see is not the adoption from the people, I think the adoption from government and central bank, because that transparency actually will make them accountable, and it creates a huge problem for them, because even in terms of regulatory frameworks, you cannot apply current regulation to a new technology. In any industry, regulation evolve, aviation, motorsport, motorcar, everything. But in finance, that's the only industry that they don't want to change the regulation, but they should actually. So it would come from, but I've seen in Southeast Asia, because they see the challenge of the US dollar dominance, and BRICS is coming on board now to challenge that, and they see blockchain as a chance to have more independent and rely on their resources and their people, because right now we can see Southeast Asia being exploited by the Western country for many years, right? So they want to transform that, and everybody in the emerging market can see is a form of independence, but also, but acquiring that independence to a dominant power, they will lose their also independence towards their people, because all of a sudden they'll be accountable for their decisions. So I think that's an interesting challenge for governments and for adoption. Going, well, we want to adopt, we want to be economically free with blockchain, but are we willing to accept the accountability that comes with it? And I think that's the question we should ask when we elect the next official in any country.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Eric that clear regulation that makes it easy to conduct business is going to be really important to see that growth, to see those jobs come to Vietnam and other countries in the region. And I also think there's a big opportunity in the short term, because the United States, which has historically dominated the financial landscape, is really struggling to implement effective, clear regulation. And so a lot of businesses that are working in this space or are using blockchain technology are choosing to leave the United States for other jurisdictions where it's more clear how they can do business in a way that's compliant and clear. The other thing I would say is that the blockchain industry itself is one thing, but if we're successful, if this technology achieves its full potential, every company is going to be using blockchain technology as part of their operations. In the same way that 30 years ago, the internet was an industry, and now every company is an internet company, right? Everyone uses the internet as part of their business. And so thinking about how can we make it easy for existing companies to adopt this technology through clear accounting rules, clear tax obligations, basically providing clarity so that integrating this technology is seen as an opportunity rather than a risk.
Thank you so much. I think you wrap up the panel today. Can you guys give the organization feedback?